Okay, finally I'm going to have a very quick look at polymorphism, which sounds more complicated than it is. We were looking at the human being class, and I'm just going to insert something into human being. I'm going to insert another method in there, which I'm going to call sleep. Doesn't return anything, and all it does is system out. It just tells me that I've slept or sleeps for 8 hours, which is what you should all be doing. Okay, fantastic. Now, because that's a human being, and because both teacher and student inherit from human being, you see that? Extends human being, and also a high school student extends student. Then if I go to my tester right now and I make a new high school student, just call him HS, and then I call his sleep method. We'll just see what happens. Oops. So straight away I'll see that he sleeps for 8 hours. Now, anything that I create which inherits from human being is going to sleep for 8 hours. But there are certain situations in which you might want to change that default behavior and redefine it inside the subclass. So for example, we all know that high school students have never slept for 8 hours and never will until they go to university when they make it all up. What I'm going to do is in high school student, I'm going to redefine that. It's actually called overriding. I'm going to override that method, and I'm going to call it, it's called public. So sleep. There we go. And basically, I'm going to say in there something more realistic. So sleeps for 6 hours. That's on a good day. Okay, so here we go. Going to run that again. The constructor sleeps for 6 hours. The tester program sleeps for 6 hours. If I create a student, what do you think is going to happen if I call this sleep method? Well, because I've only redefined it in the HS student class, then when I run that, first of all, it's going to tell me the HS student has slept for 6 hours. And then in student, it's going to give me the default behavior that I inherited down, and it's going to sleep for 8 hours. Okay, that is polymorphism. When you redefine or override, which is spelled like this, you override a method which is inherited from the superclass. Second. Just fix that. Okay. So again, breakpoint. Overriding a method. Polymorphism is when you override a method which you've inherited from superclass, in this case sleep. Okay, hope that's clear, but please have a look at our option D presentation, where I explain what inheritance and polymorphism are, using exactly the same example I've just done with you on screen, where a human being, a student extends a human being. And you can see in the tester class that it does actually inherit all of the things that human being had. And polymorphism, in this example, we have a liquid, and coffee, milk, and tea all inherit from that liquid, but some of them redefine their own methods. So for example, swirl, which is a method in liquid, is redefined in the class coffee, and it's redefined in the class cappuccino, but it's not redefined at all in decaf. So if I'm in a decaf class and someone says swirl, what I do is I look first of all in my own space. There's nothing there. So I go to the next level up and I hit a swirl here, so that's the one I'm going to take. Okay. If there'd been no swirl there, then I would have gone up and used the liquid one. As indeed, if I'm in the T class and someone says swirl, there's nothing here, so I'm going to look up, and the next one I find going upwards is in the liquid class. Okay, that's the way it works. Just check your understanding with these 3 facts. And if you've got those right, and you understand those, then you're in the right track. And if you want to have a look at another example with Simon the cat, the grumpy cat.